What's up, guys? Me, MotoraRider here, and today we are going to be talking about which bikes here in front of me are the best beginner bikes for beginners in 2026. Now, on my left side, we have the Ninja 500 SE, and on my right, we have the Ninja 650. Now, the difference between these bikes, one is a sports touring, one is a sports or entry-level sports bike. So the 650 is a sport touring, as you can see by the halfway winged handlebars here. They're winged, but they're also like out and up, so they're not really giving you that aggressive feel. You have the sport feeling to it, but not the super aggressive feel as you would on like a Ninja 600 or something like that, or a Gixxer. So this one, great for touring, also sporty feel to it. Honestly, a great bike in my opinion. Then we have the Ninja 500 SE model. These, as you can see, these handles are a little bit more winged, which will give you that more of a sport type bike feel to it. And you can see as I sit on it right here, my hands are winged. This is a winged handlebar, so it gives you that sport feel to it, especially when you're trying to go for speed and you're bending down. You got that nice sporty feel, aggressive feel to it. And the tank is relatively small. If I'm not mistaken, this tank is a 6-gallon tank around there, so it's a good tank. About the 500 SE model, it does come with these drop pegs, so frame sliders. So if you drop your bike, these will stop your bike from messing up on the frame section when it falls on the street or pavement or wherever you drop it. So these are really nifty to have. Another thing is that it has a keyless fob, or a key fob. So what this is as long as you have the bike within range, as long as you have the key fob within range, this bike will turn on. If I'm doing it right, hold on, there we go. Yeah, so as long as you have this fob within range, it could be in your pocket or somewhere. As long as it's like within maybe a foot of the bike, I believe, the bike will turn on. So it's a keyless ignition. You just push turn. Or actually, I believe you just turn this one. You don't push it. But yeah, it's very tricky for me because I've never ridden a keyless fob bike before, or keyless ignition bike. But yeah, so you just turn it once, it turns on. There is no key you need to put in as long as you have the fob on your person while you're riding the bike. It works. As you can see here, it also Bluetooth is on the bike, which is pretty cool. The bike works as any other bike. You just turn it on, and then you hold in the clutch and make sure this is downwards, not up. As you know, if up is kill, down is on. Pull in the clutch, hold the ignition, bike turns on. Now this is the 500. It has a amazing sound quality, in my opinion. You can definitely feel the vibration on the bike when you turn it on. Honestly, in my opinion, it's a really great bike. Another thing is that it has a neutral finder on this bike. So it has ABS, anti-brake system, and it has a neutral finder. What is a neutral finder? I'm gonna show you. So most bikes, bikes are really hard to find that neutral when you're trying to, put the bike in neutral when you're coming at a red light or something like that, and you're over here playing with your shifter trying to find the neutral. So right now we're in first gear. Now look how easy it is to get into neutral. See, this neutral finder, when you're going up from first gear, you will feel your shifter here get stiff. It will get a lot stiffer, which helps you find the neutral faster, because on the other bikes, you'll lift up to go into neutral and your shifter will just go straight up. Like you'll accidentally go into second, third gear. But here, on this bike, you lift up just a little bit, or not even a little bit, you just lift up. And then once you're in that gear, you can go higher when you're riding, but we're not riding right now. So yeah, this bike has a very good neutral finder, perfect neutral finder, especially for beginners. You will definitely want this, because I'm not going to tell you how annoying it is to find neutral on your bike when you're riding. It is so annoying if you don't have a neutral finder on it. It is absolutely annoying. So that is a great feature. We have the 2026 heads-up display here. Very good display, if you guys can see that. You can see where it says the gears right there, which is, I really like this. It's very, futuristic looking, and it's not, you know, like little letters. It's bold letter print, lets you know what gear you're in. This is your fuel gauge, you know. Down here is gonna tell your mileage and stuff. You know, you got that beautiful Bluetooth as well, which is cool. ABS right there. That's also dope. It also tells you're in neutral right here. You got your turning signals right there, and they work. High beams, your hazard lights, as well as your horn. And then you also have your flash, your high beam flash as well, which is also pretty cool. And I believe this actually tells you the temperature of outside. So it has a built-in thermometer. It tells you how hot and cold it is outside. 71 degrees apparently outside today. Unless that's the bike temperature, I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, I've never really ridden in a 500 SE before. I do want one. So the throttle response, as on a 600, you know, when you pull that throttle, you'll feel how it tightens up instantly when you're pulling it. Here you got a little bit of room. It takes a little bit to actually, you know, get it to rev. So that is all of the mechanics on this one. Of course, your clutch, left side, brake, right side, and then you have your foot brake here and your peg rest here for your foot. You go there, and that locks your bike up if you press on that brake. And then the front brake also locks your front tire, which is cool. Down foot brake is your rear tire, which I like that a lot actually. And then, you know, you got your left foot rest here, and then you got your clutch. Simple, like any other bike. It's the same thing. You got the frame protectors on each side of the bike. So it's pretty simple. You can just kill switch it, then you can turn it to the left a little bit. Boom, turns off. Got that beautiful Kawasaki up display on it when it turns off and when it turns on. So I like that a lot. That's pretty cool. The exhaust on it is a stock exhaust. So you can put a slip-on exhaust on there. You could take this one on, put a slip-on aftermarket exhaust, like an LV exhaust, and it will sound a lot better. It'll make that put loud noise, except it doesn't do that up here. Also, you have tank grips right here as well, which is also nice. We love these. And yeah, that's the best for the, that's mostly all the stuff for this bike. You also have your passenger pegs as well. You can put a passenger up there. Don't know if you want to, but you can. And of course, you can see that it says ABS right there on the front frame where the tire is. Let you know that's ABS and everything. These are your mirrors as well. Pretty sure these can actually fold out. I'm not going to try because I don't want to break anything. So your boy doesn't have money yet. Hopefully one day I'll become a famous YouTuber, then I'll be able to afford messing around with bikes, and if I damage something, I pay for it. But yeah, tires are pretty thick as well. Really good tires on this bike. The suspension is pretty good as well. I don't know the actual specs of the suspension, but the suspension is pretty good for both short or tall people. I'm not gonna lie to you. So the 500 is not that bad. Now, moving on to the 650. In my opinion, it's a beast of a bike. Now the 650, the throttle response, you can actually feel that throttle response is a lot tighter than the 500. So you don't really got that much room to like ease your way in, because as soon as you go like that, you'll feel it instantly. This bike does not come with frame sliders. The 650 does not come with frame sliders. You can put them on there, as you can see, because it has the opening there like that bike. You can put them on there if you want to. They will go right there. That's the engine, 650cc displacement engine. The 500cc or the Ninja 500 is more like a 490cc displacement, maybe even a little bit lower than that. I'm not 100% sure, but it's more of a 450 to like 90cc, not 500 all the way. But the 650 is a 650 or 699cc engine displacement. You got your right foot peg, your rear brake, and then left foot peg, gear shift, and then your right brake, clutch, which I really like the clutch on this one. Now 650 comes with a lot of technical stuff, the 2026 model, and we're gonna go over that in a second here. Now this one does not come with a keyless fob. You do have a key, 2 keys that you will put in, and then you will turn to turn on. It's like every other motorcycle. Now we're gonna hop on it. The bike does weigh a good bit, if I'm not mistaken, like 349, 350 pounds. It's not bad. I mean, you could definitely, you could feel the weight slightly, but it's manageable. Of course, it's manageable. So you just turn the key once, boom, heads-up display. You got all your stuff up there. Don't worry about that. That's nothing. It has basically the same display as the 500 SE model. You know, you got the bold letters, tells you everything. You could tell that it's a little bit different, but you know, it's technically kind of the same stuff. It is also ABS. This bike is ABS as well, which is great. And I believe it also has an easy neutral finder as well on the 2026 model. So as any other bike, turn that on, pull in clutch, start bike up. As you can see here, it has the winged handles, but not really winged. It's more of a touring sports bikes feeling to it. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is yeah, so if you can see here, you can go through here, check your battery, AV range, use your miles, your speed, stuff like that, total time, battery percentage. It's pretty cool. The signals, high beam, low beam, your back high beam flasher, your hazard, which this hazard is not a push, it's a slide, which I also like that feature, then your horn as well. I really like the feature of the hazards on this one. But yeah, so time to see if it has a neutral finder, which I believe it does. So you'll push down, go into first gear, and then lift up. Yep, it has a neutral finder. I'm telling you guys, if you're a beginner rider, these bikes are perfect for you. That neutral finder is going to save your life when you're coming to a stop at a stop sign or a red light. It's going to prevent you from stalling on your motorcycle. I mean, I'm telling you, you want that feature. You really want that feature. So the throttle response, you can feel how, you can see how that little bit of put in definitely starts the bike and gets it going. Now, we're gonna set this aside and I'm gonna show you the throttle response for the 500 SE real quick. So we're gonna turn that on. If I can turn it on correctly. You see how annoying it is to turn this thing on? Look at that, look at that. There we go. Boom. All right, so we're gonna turn it on. And look at the throttle response. You see how like it's a little, there's space there. There's no throttling. Then there's some throttle. But right there, it has space. It has room for you to work around it, which I think is pretty good for beginner riders. The 650, don't be scared. The engine CC is bigger, but it's not intimidating. It's just a little less throttle response. So you'll be baby throttling this when you're trying to take off. Now, you got your shifter here, your rear brake there. Like any other bike, it's pretty easy. You know, you turn, and you'll start off like any other bike. Now, I know for naked riders, if you've ridden bikes before, like dirt bikes and stuff, or maybe even a naked bike, this part will be a little bit weird for you because you got the frame here. So turning, you won't really actually see your thing turn. You'll be turning like this, and this will keep straight, but you will be turning. So I know it's a little weird, but it's not hard. It's not, you'll get used to it, trust me. You'll get used to it. So yeah, you got your turning signals. You would turn there, and you'll push in to turn them off. Now, when you're taking a turn, I just want to let y'all know that it's not a car. So once you turn, your signals will still be on. You have to manually push it in to turn them off. Please don't make that mistake. I made it a lot, actually. But it's not that big of a deal. If you make the mistake, you make the mistake. And like I said, the display shows you everything. Left turn, right turning, left turning, high beam flash. If you press on it, your hazards, both lights blinking, and I'll show you the exterior look of what that looks like in a second here. So it's very easy to start this bike off, you know? So to switch gear, you pull in your clutch and push down into first. You're always gonna start off in first. Once you're in first, you can just ease in on the throttle while releasing the clutch. And actually, what's great about the 650 is that once you release the clutch, the bike still moves. But don't release it too much, because if you release it too much, you stall, like that. And if you stall, don't worry, just pull back in the clutch and start it up. So once you release the clutch a little bit slightly, you'll feel the bike start to move, which is pretty cool. And then you'll just, you know, get that move in. Now it's a little hard, a little bit, but you still want to put in throttle. So a little bit of throttle, and boom, bam, bop. Bike is moving. And we'll drive it back to the front. And I believe the 500 also has that feature where if you release the clutch just a teeny bit, it will go forward just a little bit. We're gonna find that out in a second here. But like I said, the throttle is a little bit more responsive on this bike. So you can just baby it, you know, the way I baby my things.
Stop. What do you mean by that?
So I put my, pause. The way I baby the throttle is I put my inside of my hand here, palm, like this, and then I don't grip it like this and go like that. You know, you gotta go like this, flex your thumb, and it's not bad. But like I said, the throttle response on this bike on the 650 is pretty sensitive, but it's not too sensitive to be intimidating. Also, beautiful feature on the 500 SE and the 650 that I forgot to mention is the kickstand emergency brake or emergency switch. So your bike, the 650 and the 500 SE, will not drive if that kickstand is down. It is a safety feature. If you try to drive with this kickstand down, it will turn off your bike instantly. It is a beautiful safety feature on these 2026 models. And I believe it's also on the 2025 as well. But yeah, that feature is perfect. As you can see, we're still in first gear. We can just pull it back in and it doesn't work. You know why? Because that kickstand is down. Pull it up, bike works. Is that a perfect feature? Tell me that feature isn't great. You put it down again, it works perfectly. So like you're running from the cops, you know, you can kick that kickstand down and it'll instantly turn off your bike, park your bike, move and bop. Don't run from the cops. I do not condone any illegal activities. Do not run from the police. We love our law enforcement and they're just there to enforce and protect everyone. Now, another good thing about this bike is look at that. I'm not holding the brake or anything. That's called ABS, anti-brake system. Now, if I put that kickstand up, it does the same thing, but when I turn that bike on, put it in neutral, it goes forward. But if you turn that bike off, and I believe, yeah, turn that bike off, put down the kickstand, my bad. Oh, it doesn't do it anymore. We gotta figure that out, chap. Clutch, on. Oh, it's cause nope, that's not it either. Let's see how that works, chat. So pull in, turn on. All right, kickstand is down. So if you go into first gear, it turns off. Okay, so you have to be in first gear or in any other gear with the bike off and it will lock the thing if your kickstand is down. So that's pretty cool. And then you just go back up to first gear or to neutral and it'll start moving again. So if you're in first gear, if I can put it down, I don't think you can put it down while the bike is off. Yeah, so first gear, you turn the bike off with the kickstand, anti-brake system is enabled, bike won't move, bike is locked, which is pretty cool. Like I said, that's a very great feature. I'm gonna show you guys another feature that this has as well. So yeah, we're gonna put this back in neutral real quick, boom, and as you can see, it unlocked the anti-brake system. We're moving it. Now the 500. The 500, I believe, also has the kickstand kill switch. So once you're on it and you turn this bike on, you gotta really softly, oh, I hate this so much. There we go. You gotta softly turn it. It's really annoying, which I don't know why it does that. Oh, well, never mind, I just did it really quickly. You heard that? That's the suspension and everything turning on. This bike is very technical. It's cool. Pull that in, switch into first gear. Yep, it has the kickstand emergency kill switch. So like I said, on both of these bikes, if that kickstand is down and you're in any gear, this bike will turn off. So please make sure you put your kickstand up when you're about to leave. And say if your kickstand is down, because I know a lot of people, they'll probably think, new beginners, they'll be like, oh damn, my bike's broken, it's not turning on or anything. If you're in first gear and your kickstand is down, your bike is off and you're trying to start it back up, remember, you just gotta kick in that kickstand. Then it'll turn on. Another thing is, if you stall your bike like so, if you stall your bike like this and you're pressing this, it won't turn on because it's in gear. So you have to pull in the clutch, then you turn it on. Now, if you're in neutral, right? So say you're in neutral. If you're in neutral and you press this, the bike will turn on. So if you're in a gear, you hold that clutch in order to turn back on the bike. If you're in neutral, you can just press the button. You don't have to press a gear. You don't have to use any of that. Kickstand is up and stuff like that. So this is the throttle response. As you can see, it's wobbly there. But once you get that little line to match up with that line, then you have some gas going in. It's like any other bike, you know, to get it going, you hold in that clutch, right? Hold in the clutch, shift into first gear, and then add throttle while releasing clutch. Just like that, and the bike is moving. Now, again, this is a sporty type feel to this bike, so it feels very interesting when you're driving it. It feels very interesting when you're driving it. It's different from the 650 for sure. You can feel the difference between the sports feel, for sure, 100%. Now, we're gonna see if this bike has the throttle, the clutch release. So if you release the clutch, okay, so it does move forward just a little bit, but if you release it too much, the bike will turn off, so don't release it too much. Just so you always want to put in throttle when you're releasing the clutch, even if it does have this little thing here where it goes forward just a little. You still want to put in a little bit of throttle to get the bike moving. So never let go of your clutch, because if you do, no clutch, you stall. Try to avoid stalling at all times. Now, if you're riding on the street, right, or on the highway, and your bike stalls, do not panic. Do not swerve into a lane. Do not turn on your hazards. All you have to do, if you stall on the while riding the bike, it doesn't matter how fast you're going. You could be 150, you could be 50 miles per hour, doesn't matter. All you do is pull in your clutch and press your ignition switch. Your bike will turn back on. You can resume your throttle back to where it was. I've stalled many times on my 200cc motorcycle, which is my little Grom. It's a little Lafon or Lifen, however you want to pronounce it, if you're fancy or not. And you know, all you do is just pull in the clutch, press the button, the bike will start back up while you're moving. So that part you don't really have to worry about. Not really. It's not that big of a deal. So my bike comes with another kickstand on the back of it, which lifts the bike up and off the wheels. These bikes do not come with that because these are sports bikes. These are not Japanese bike. These are actual name brand bikes that are known. So it's not gonna do that. Now, we're gonna show you the controls and everything. Left turning signal. You can see it shine right there. It's not the brightest, but you know, it still works. They can see it's visible. It does not have, oh yeah, it does have it on the side. I always thought it was gonna be in the front, but yeah, it has a turning signal on the front and back. Right turning signal, which I don't really think that these side turning signals are really helpful, because I don't think a car in front of you is gonna be able to see it in their mirror. But yeah, your hazards. These are your hazards. Flashing lights, as you know. Flashing lights on the side as well. Your hazards, they work perfectly fine. Your high beams. You can see that here. High beam, low beam, high beam, low beam, flash, high beam. Pretty simple. And like I said, with the 500, there comes with a key fob. You don't have to have it in the bike anywhere at all. You just need to have the fob on your person, in your pocket, anywhere on your body, in a bag. As long as it's on your person while you're on this bike, your bike will turn on. Sorry, I still suck at this. Give me a second. Let me lock in, chat. Hold on. There we go. I really suck at that. I think you actually do have to turn. Like, do you have to? So, no? I got it. But yeah, as you can see, the fob. So we're gonna walk back with the fob real quick. We're gonna see what's the distance. Look, it's still on. It is still on, as you can see from the tail light. It is still on. And if I'm not mistaken, this is just, it's not actually a thing. It's not gonna turn the bike off no matter how far back you walk, because the bike is already on. Now, here's another thing. And now I'm gonna show you guys the thing if you don't have the fob on you and you try to start your bike. It will be very bad. So watch this. Turn the bike off. We're gonna take the fob. We're gonna put it on this jixer right here. Put the fob up there, walk over to the bike. See how the distance is not that much, but it's enough to not let this bike start at all. As you can see, it is not turning on whatsoever because the fob is not close enough to the bike. Boom. Now we're gonna get the fob. We're gonna bring it right back to the bike. Look at the fob, isn't that cool? I wish the 650 came with it. Fob is on the bike. On. Boom, bam, bop. Off. Take this fob, put it on the Ninja bike. Back here, go back to this. Will not turn on whatsoever. So like I said, with the 500 SE, you do come with a fob. The fob needs to be on your person when you are trying to start your 500. It needs to be somewhere on the bike or on your person for this bike to start. I really hate this part of the bike. Okay, so yeah. That's the only thing I don't like about the 500 SE is that it takes a little bit to actually find the on switch, which I don't know why. I'm not sure if I'm doing it wrong or like it should just be a little turn. You see that? I'm doing it right. Look, boom. Maybe it's just this bike. Maybe this bike, like they did something and messed it up. But yeah, fob edition for the 500 SE. If your fob is at least on your person while you're on the bike or somewhere on the bike will turn on. 650 does not come with that, unfortunately, which I think would have been pretty cool if it was on the 650 in my opinion. But they don't got it for the 650. It's only for the 500 SE model. I'm not sure what other bikes come with the fob edition. Pretty sure there's other bikes out there. I think the H2 has it, and I think some Hondas have it, and yeah, some CBRs have it. But yeah, that's the big difference between these bikes. Now, the 650 goes about 100 and I want to say 30 to 40 miles. Yeah, about 130 at 35 miles per hour. Stock out of the shop, no modification. The 500 goes about 125-ish stock out. Now it's also depending on how heavy you are and your size if you're on the bike. So it could go a little bit slower if you're as big as me for the 500 SE. That's why my big self will be on the 650 model because I'm a bigger person. So if I ride, it will go faster for me because it's a 650 bigger engine, a lot more power. 500 less CC, big person, small engine, little power. But I'm pretty sure with my size, I still believe it will get up to like 115, 18 maybe. So you'll still be in the 100 range. You'll still be able to keep up with traffic. You could definitely overtake people on the city streets. Probably not on the highway. They'll probably just speed up right past you. On the 650, you probably can't overtake on the highway. Especially if you're a smaller person, you'll get a lot more out of this than I would as well. But for big people, we can still rock this easily and get up to 135, 140. So yeah, that is the comparison between this Ninja 650 and the Ninja 500 SE. Like I said, you can always tell what bike has ABS because it'll say ABS on the side there. They both come with stock exhaust. They're slip-on exhaust for both bikes. This exhaust is a little bit lower. Yeah, so that's what the exhaust looked like on the 650. That's the stock exhaust. And this is the exhaust for the 500. Not the best looking exhaust by any means. You can tell that it's not a good looking exhaust. But like I said, you can buy a slip-on aftermarket exhaust. I prefer LV slip-on exhaust. Their exhaust is perfect. I'll put it on the screen here. It will make your bike sound so much better. Now, we're gonna do a rev test for the 500. If I can turn it on again with no problem. There we go. Yeah, you just gotta wiggle it a little bit. You just gotta, maybe that actually is how you do it. Boom. Huh, that is weird. Okay, we're gonna start this bike, and this is the sound for the exhaust. So that's what it sounds like on the stock exhaust. It's not bad, but like I said, you can buy an exhaust online from Amazon. You can make the bike sound a lot better if you want. We have a 500 LV 500 here with a LV exhaust on it. I'm gonna see if I can get that for you guys so I can show you the sound of that. But now we're gonna show you the sound of the 650 and with its factory small exhaust. listen to that. It's not bad. That stock exhaust is actually pretty decent. I'm not gonna lie. Of course, that one, well, you would have to definitely change if you want a better sound. I believe also if you buy another exhaust and put it up there, it will actually give you a little bit more miles on your bike. So like maybe 5 miles extra, give or take around there. I know the LV exhaust can give you an extra 5 miles. So the exhaust does add a little bit of speed to your bike. But yeah, that is comparison. I'm not allowed, I don't think I'm allowed to test ride these around with a helmet and cam on to show you guys how it looks. If I am, you'll see a video of it right here on screen or in a cutout. But if I'm not, this is the end of the video. But yeah, guys, we are at Cycle World down in Virginia Beach. One of the best motorcycle selling dealerships ever. And it's honestly just perfect here. I love this place. You can get good deals here. You can get good bikes. They got a bunch of bikes from all type of brands. They got Honda, they got Kawasaki, they got Harley, they got Indian Scott Bobbers, they got so many more. They got Yamaha, they got, yeah, they got all of it, man. Suzuki, they sell it all. So yeah, come down to Cycle World, Virginia Beach, Virginia, and come buy one of their bikes. Like I said, for your best beginner bikes, if you're a beginner rider in Virginia Beach, Norfolk, anywhere in the Virginia area, come down here. You can buy one of these bikes here, the 650 or the 500 SE. These are perfect beginner bikes. We also have other beginner bikes as well, like the CBR 500 and stuff like that. It doesn't have to be a Kawasaki, but we're doing a Kawasaki beginner bike tutorial or video here, comparison. So between the Kawasaki's, these two are your best choices for beginner bikes. Now, any CC can be a beginner bike. Does not have to be a 500, does not have to be a 650. It could be a 600, a 750, even a 1000. I wouldn't suggest it because as a new rider, that just doesn't sound ethical. You should always start small as your first time riding. Also, the Ninja 400 is a perfect bike for beginner riders. I am not gonna lie, the Ninja 400 is beautiful. My personal opinion is better than 500. Better than 500. But the 400 is also really, really freaking good. You can buy that too. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. It's MotoraRider. It's been a good one, and I will see you guys in the next